So you go and you get your CDL. How was that experience?
Man, so that experience was different, but I liked it because I was already an owner.
Right.
So it was like I was ahead of everybody else. Everybody else was talking about, oh, I can't wait to own a truck. I can't. No, they was talking about I can't wait to get a truck.
To get a truck, and you already there.
I was already there.
Got you.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So you had that advantage. So it's like you were working towards something. It's like once I get the CDL, I can jump in this truck, and I'm ready to go.
I didn't even want to jump in the truck. I just wanted to stop paying the guy
to move
it for me. That's all I did. I wanted at that point.
Right.
So I just wanted to stop paying him.
Okay.
But then as I went, I wanted to gain more interest, more knowledge into the industry. So the only way I could do that was to go undercover as an actual driver. So once I got out of CDL school, I ended up going to work for KLLM for like a month. Okay. So I went over the road for like 4 weeks with my trainer, and she still calls me to this day. Yeah.
What'd you learn? What'd you learn there at that time?
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Okay.
That was the real trucking at that point. It wasn't paperwork anymore. We was out on the open road, no bathrooms, open hills, mountains. We drove from Atlanta up to Hershey, Pennsylvania. It was beautiful. Very beautiful. That was my favorite part of the whole experience because I could see like different places that I had never been before and see different sights that I've never seen. And it was a breath of fresh air from being out of corporate. And I gravitated towards it. Yeah.
So you developed a love for it.
I did.
You enjoyed it.
I did.
All right. So what happens with that? You done with them? With what are they? OT? What's the name of the company?
KLLM.
KLLM. Oh yeah. So KLLM. You said you were there for like a couple months, a month or so.
1 month.
Okay. 1 month.
1 month.
That's it.
Straight up.
Done.
Month. That's it.
Finito.
That's it.
What's the plan after that?
After that, XPO calls me back.
XPO calls you back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So while I was in trucking school, I ended up putting in an application like, hey, I'm going over to the driving side. What can we do? So they saw my resume and they called me because I had previously worked with them up in North Carolina. So it was easier to get that interview, easier to get my foot in the door with no experience. Just one. And I was local on top of that. And everybody knows like, when you're an over-the-road driver, most people, they dream of just being local. Right. So going local fresh out of school, that was unheard of.
Right.
So I went local fresh out of school, and from there, it was just another uphill battle.
Talk about it.
Yes.
Where do I begin? Where do I begin? I'm at the beginning. What happens?
Yeah. So my truck is still down in Jacksonville at this point, and I'm there working, and I'm trying to learn from the ground up, literally. So working with them, I had to do my pickups, about 12 pickups, 10 deliveries. Then after I would do all that during the day, then I would have to come back to work and unload the truck.
Whew.
Physically.
They got you up in the freight.
What?
You doing it for real?
Yes. I was a real
pallet jacks?
No, forklifts.
Forklifts?
Pallet jacks. And then, of course, if it will fall off,
the
forklift
so
or the pallet jack.
Build it back up, build the pallet,
wrap it up, shrink out.
Man, you ain't supposed to be doing that work.
What?
Oh,
Exactly.
Man, that's crazy.
They didn't know who I was. I was undercover. They didn't know.
Right.
They didn't know I was a queen for real. I was coming to America.
No doubt. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
All right, so continue. I'm listening.
Yeah, so man, I was rebuilding those pallets, but all the while I'm learning, I'm thinking, I'm breathing like a truck driver. I'm getting my hands dirty, and I'm learning what I want my truck drivers to do and what I don't want them to do. Right. So to this day, I don't force my drivers to touch any freight. You know, it's just more dangerous for them. Right,
and more of a liability for you.
More of a liability for me.
No doubt.
So to this day, we don't do any touch freight. So I was learning about that side of things and just tightening up my skills with driving. Okay. So while I was there, I guess another probably about 9 months passed, and I had finally got my truck up to Jacksonville with the help of one of their maintenance people.
Okay.
So
okay.
I was networking, man.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
had
yeah.
befriended one guy in their maintenance department, and he had come down to Jacksonville with me. And for the longest, I had stopped paying this guy to come crank it up because it was just like, I can come down there, but I was like missing times to come down there.
Right.
So I couldn't get it crunked at one point. So I went and talked to the guy in the maintenance department. I was like, hey, I got a truck. Can you help me out with it?
Right.
This guy was so nice. He literally came all the way down to Jacksonville from Atlanta, brought his tools with him. All I had to do was pay for a room, and he got my truck back up and running.
Wow, dope.
Yes, dope. Very dope.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would talk to him a lot. I would pay attention to the truck that I was in back in at XPO. I would pay attention to that truck, each truck, because they had internationals, Freightliners, they had Sterlings. These are all different types of trucks.
Yeah.
And I was getting in and out of them, and I would pay attention to how they run, pay attention to how they sound, smell, felt when it drive, you know, because I knew I wanted to own more than just one truck.
Gotcha.
And I didn't want to focus on just one brand. So I wanted to be versatile, and knowing what I know, I already owned the Volvo, so I know pretty much how that is.
Right.
So I wanted to test out the others. So I paid attention to what was going on with the maintenance, and that gave me another one up on other individuals, because they would hop in the truck, and if something was wrong with it, they'll immediately hop out and get into the next one. They wouldn't take it to the shop and listen to what was going on with it to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I took that time with him to learn.
Keep on going. I'm listening to the story.
Yeah. So I was there, and I finally got the truck back up to Atlanta. And when I got up to Atlanta, I had to find more truck parking because I wasn't quite ready for it to get out there, because I was still doing my research on who I wanted to lease it on to. And in the meantime, it was still a headache, because now I found that it had really bad oil leaks. So I was like, man, this truck is taking me through it.
Right.
What else am I gonna do? So I just started researching on ways of getting into trucking.
Okay.
And I didn't want to let my brother down.
Okay.
You know, because he entrusted me with one of his only assets.
Right.
And if he come back home and I done sold it and I have nothing to show for it, what am I gonna do?
Right.
I done gave him my word.
Right.
And I'm like very loyal, and I'm a go-getter, and I'm hungry. You
Right.
know, so I was super hungry that time to even take on a whole new career that it was so foreign to me.
For sure.
A whole new identity.
100%.
So yeah, while I was recreating myself, I was also thinking of how I could be different. Again, how I could be different. So what I noticed that there was not many, it was a lot of people wanted to own trucks, but they had no business background.
Right.
Nothing. They was great at what they did, been driving for maybe 20 years or 2 years, but have no business background.
Right.
So that's when I came up with the idea. I said, okay, well, maybe I could start an asset management company to where I could just manage the asset, understand, I can let the investor know, or the driver know, let the investor know that their truck is at point A, and let them know how much the truck made, let them know that the payroll has been ran. If the driver calls in the middle of the night, they don't have to call the investor, they could call me. I could be the actual manager and run this thing, and I could negotiate a deal for a percentage per week or actual equity within the trucks. So yeah, so that's when I approached one of my first investors, and we got into this deal together, and the rest is history.